Okay, now in this part, we are going to work about a bit with implications for learning. First of all, it's important that you provide students with tasks and strategies that help them to organize their mental lexicon, okay, in which they can build networks or associations, and the more associations and networks they make, it's the better. So the tasks and strategies have to be very well designed. And teachers need to accept that the learning of new words involves periods of vast fuzziness. That is to say that they are, sometimes they forget words, and sometimes they use them in a wrong way. Learners need to wean themselves off a reliance on direct translation for their mother tongue. This is what I already told you. So use good context, meaningful context, so they do not need to rely to their mother tongue. And words need to be presented in their typical contexts, so learners can get a feel for their meaning, their register, their collocations in their syntactic environments. Do not teach words in isolations, please, or just using flashcards. Teachers should direct attention to the sound of new words, particularly the way they are stressed. And for this, drills are very good, okay? And learners should be actively involved in the learning of new words. It's not, when we talk about actively involved, it's not just looking at the words and repeating them, okay? It means working with the words, use the words in a context. Learners need multiple exposures to words, and they need to retrieve words from memory repeatedly. So not only visual, kinesthetic, auditory, okay? Learners need to make multiple decisions about words. In the case, for example, if I add a suffix, if I add a prefix, okay, conveying new words, using new words. Memory of new words can be reinforced if they are used to express personally relevant meanings which are closely connected to their reality. Not all vocabulary that the learners need can taught. Learners will need plentiful exposure to talk and text, as well as training for self-direct learning. So provide students with multiple ways of, opportunities for reading, for listening, not only teach, these are the words I taught you in class, those are the words that you have to learn. No, think that they need exposure to learn many other words about themselves. Okay, so if we think in terms of teaching activities, okay, teachers can give students activities like repeated encounters, communicative situations, vocabulary rehearsal. We have plenty of learning strategies, constant attention. So we have workouts, portraits, games, dictionaries, using word clouds, word themes, word letters, word forms. There are so many activities that you can work with vocabulary that I invite you to look at different books and to select activities that you feel comfortable with and expand your repertoire of words and games that you can use with vocabulary. And as regards learning strategies, they had to pay attention to form, then pay attention to meaning. Learners are very good guessers. They take risks and they are not afraid of making mistakes and know how to organize their own learning. Those strategies are very important, yes, while working with vocabulary. And now think about the way you have been taught, or have you ever been taught how to solve a word formation exercise, for example, or you just did it inductively? How would you introduce this exercise? Okay, so in many cases, you have encountered with this type of activities, yes, in which you have to use the words that fit in each blank. But has any teacher explained to you how to use them? What about using affixation in this case? If it is a noun, if it is an adjective, if it is a verb, if you add "ly," it becomes an adverb. Have you ever been taught this? And okay, so I think that these are very good questions in think in terms the way you like to have been taught. Okay, and here I have an example that I will share with you. It's using a song, the Logical song by Supertramp. It's here, a Logical song by Supertramp. I designed this lesson plan. I adapted it from a previously done research work. I like this song. I suggest you to listen to the song first. It's very old, so I don't think you know it, but in case you know it. Okay, so the idea, and you have to do something similar in the forum, okay? So I decided to teach suffixes, okay, using adjectives. And so the idea is to work out vocabulary building, and students will be able to practice listening comprehension as well. And so first of all, before starting with the lesson, this is a pre-listen stage. A pre-listen stage. So the idea is to arouse the students' interest of the song. So the idea is to draw 3 charts, 3 columns on the wall with the titles childhood, teenage, adulthood, and to think what are the feelings towards the 3 stages of life, childhood, teenage, and adulthood. And the idea is to choose some adjectives from the following boxes and put them into the columns, and add the ones that you consider relevant. So there are confident, hopeful, wonderful, magical, joyful, happy, cheerful. I mean, how can you connect these adjectives, these words, yes, to different stages in life? While listening, okay, it's activity 2 that it has to do with words identification. So tell students that they are going to listen to an old song by Supertramp. It's all logical song. Explain that the song is about the author's feelings towards the different stages in life, and they have to listen to the song and match the words they hear with the ones they wrote in their chant, and if possible, they can add some other words. So remember that the first activity has to be connected with the song. I mean, if you ask them to do this, then you have to listen and check their predictions. And so they compare the findings in their groups. And activity number 3, they have to listen, and now they have the song, and just they work with the song, choose the right answer in circle when it's already done for you, then put the stanzas in order, complete the stanza with the words from the box, listen to the next stanza and scramble the words, listen to the stanza. These are many common activities that you do with a song, okay? And so they listen to it, and then they can listen to it again just to check what they have done. Then you have the activity 5, which is vocabulary building. So they have to read the following sentences and discuss with the partners and guess the meaning of the word. So I like this activity because they have, you give them, they have to write the meaning of the word by looking at the example. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe there are too many words. They can be less than words, and they have to match the words and definitions, so you can give them later if you want. Okay, and then in activity number 4, after listening to the song again, put the adjectives in the song describing different stages in the space provided, and using the words they have here, they have used there, they according to the ones to the song, the mood in title, and the adjectives, the mood and the adjectives, explaining the difference between mood, what's mood, and the difference with adjectives. And then we have the word formation activity, and this is the word I want to pay attention and to focus on. So identify the suffixes found in the words. That's why I asked them to write again all the words here, so they have like a summary of all the words that they have been working with and the words that appear in the text in the song. And explain how the words change, make a chart stating them, include as many examples as you can. From, okay, what do you do from noun to adjective, and ask them to complete a chart, like a verb to an adverb, okay. And, well, and it's like the study part of the work. Yes, this is, but have a look at it. I didn't start. It's like an activity number 5, yes, because they're first, you need kind of recognition, listening to the words, working on the meaning of the words, and then working on the formation, yes, on the word formation itself. And this is the after listening part has to do with understanding the song, like listen to the song. It's not necessary to listen to the song again. It's too much. Like, who type of person wrote this song? Why did she write this song? What are the stages mentioned in the song? What are the changes? Okay, or another possibility is exploring team problems. Share the problems that I have facing, invite more students to share what they think about the problems we're facing now by completing the survey. Or another one Write a letter to a person you would like to share, mentioning the problems that disturb you. Give the 3 letters with my 3 teenagers, mentioning the problems they're facing. Ask students to underline the major problems mentioned. Remind students the way of organizing the letter topic sentence, showing the problems, elaboration of what happens, seek for help. As students write their own letters. So you see that sometimes you have a very simple song and you just ask them to complete all the missing words. And there are so many things that you can do working with a song, and it's more than 80 minutes or a whole 80-minute class working just with a song. Okay. So the idea is that now you think, of course, that you don't need to write 8 activities. Remember that it has been adapted from a lesson. But I want you to choose an aspect of words that you would like to teach your students. Okay, it could be compounding, noun compounds, verb compounds, I don't know, an aspect of compounds that you want to teach. Think of a context. You can have a look at the course book. You can have a look at there are so many books that work with teaching vocabulary. And the idea is to introduce a context, and then like it could be reading a text or something, and then how you would teach and how you would introduce compounding or clipping or blending or affixation, derivation, prefixes, affixes. I mean, there are so many aspects of words that you can teach. So this will be the closure of this unit. Okay, I hope you had enjoyed it and learned about it, and well, we continue working. Thanks a lot for listening.